I think I describe Florida's dance style as diverse. There's like a lot of different styles and a lot of different crews. And I feel like dance in general nowadays is becoming very saturated with a lot of just like the same kind of stuff. So I think it's very important to be original and set yourself apart from everyone else, because that's what's going to catch people's eye nowadays, because everyone's kind of starting to look the same, in my opinion. I'd say that that's how it's a little different in Boston, because I kind of don't see as much diversity in Boston. Everyone's kind of the similar styles. I would describe my style as kind of like everyone else, like a mixture of just all the people that I've learned from and all the things that I've gained from taking classes and stuff. But if I were to be specific, it'd probably be like a lot of isolations and a lot of sharp, smooth body control type things. My style is like, it's not very traditional in the sense of it's a lot of abstract kind of movements sometimes, but I don't think there's one particular move. It's the fact that I do a lot of like stopping and going slow to like really fast stuff. So I think the hard part is the body control. So one of my friends recently actually compared my style to something, and I thought it was a really good analogy. It's kind of like a boxer, I guess you could say, because I kind of like, I could float around and then I start, jabbing or going fast. So it was a lot of like, quick movements, and yeah, so I thought that was a cool analogy, like as a boxer. I'm pretty much a product of like the media and all that, and just getting like into it through that. But I've recently just been learning more about dance history and stuff, so. I started pretty much like that, watching TV and then being inspired from there. And so I started learning just by myself. And then after that, I started taking classes and I joined a group in college, Fresh Off the Beat. I had found them online actually, and I was so interested in wanting to join, because that was, like I said, when I started learning about MTV, ABDC and all that. So I was like, well, I want to be a part of something like that. So I met them and I started dancing with them, and I was pretty bad, but I kept taking classes from them and performing with them, obviously. And from there, I was able to meet the other dance communities in Orlando, which allowed me to further myself more. And then it's really all about networking. You keep practicing, and then you meet people, and then through there, I was able to start doing gigs and stuff. I did my first music video in Orlando, danced for an artist, choreographed for pageants and stuff. So I've been very grateful to just be able to do what I love and as a job sometimes. So teaching for a stage and teaching for a workshop are completely different, and I enjoy doing them both. Teaching for stage is very kind of like planned ahead and need to really consider how everyone looks, and usually when I teach for stage, it's kind of more, I'm looking at the big picture and try to see what would look good as a group as opposed to myself. So when I'm teaching for a class, I kind of like that because it allows me to do whatever I want and not worry about how it's going to look on other people. Everyone can just do how they want to do it, as opposed to trying to look like everyone else. So I think there's a lot of, it's very visually appealing to see a group all as one and in unison, but it's just as awesome to see people expressing themselves in their own way. So that's how they differ, but I don't prefer one over the other. When I get stuck on a spot, like I'm trying to think of something that's going to fit, and it just doesn't work, then I just play the song and I let it become natural, and just whatever happens next, like when I'm freestyling, when I do it, that's what I put into it, because that's probably what's going to be the most natural, is your gut feeling. So yeah, it's a mixture of freestyle, but of course there's a lot of premeditated movements and stuff as well. I was probably one of the shyest people that you could ever meet, but I forced myself into the position where I had to meet people as I moved away for college. So I think you just got to find it in yourself to really just jump out and do it. And then once you do it, it starts becoming more natural. One of the things that got me a little more social is when I did ASA pageant. That really forced me to obviously you're talking in front of people, but in front of a huge crowd. But the point is just making yourself take that step, and then you'll be glad you did it, because you'll start meeting people and have a lot of fun experiences and stuff. I usually get positive reinforcement, but I've also had a lot of criticisms with my choreography, and or with me dancing in general. One of them would have to be, sometimes one of my biggest criticisms from people that I've met in Boston is my arms. I don't keep them firm, I'll shake a little bit, which is something that I thought I was actually pretty good at, but then I watch videos back and it's keeping yourself consistent and clean. Another thing that people critique me for is not grooving enough, or not being like a little more relaxed. It's a lot of like isolations and stuff, and it's not, sometimes it's considered, people consider it kind of not even dancing, which sometimes I can kind of take offense to it, but in my opinion, I don't think it needs to be labeled as anything. It's just moving to music, really. And how you express it doesn't really matter, as long as, you know, you're having a good time and you feel good. What inspires me to dance is mostly just watching other people dance, because when I see people dance, like, it makes me want to dance, you know? So there's a lot of things that inspire me, but for the most part, it'd be watching people and wanting to match their level and get to where they are and express how they're expressing themselves. When I see people like living their life when they're dancing, it's like really dope to me. So I want to be able to, you know, tap into that inner expression, I guess you could say. Lastly, I think I just want to say that people need to make sure that they are grateful for having danced and never forget why you started dancing. Because a lot of people start to, especially in the industry, who are doing it for their life, like, they get really discouraged and they want to stop, and it becomes very much a job, which is understandable because it is a job for some people. But if you look back and just remember why you started dancing and how you felt when you started dancing, it kind of puts you into perspective and realize that it's just one of the greatest things you can do. My name is Jordan, and this is my style. A lot of different things people don't know about me, but a funny one that people don't know about me is, actually one person knows, and it's one of my friends named Emmy, but is when I eat fries, I have to, say there's one fry, I have to snap it in half and then eat it as like 2 pieces at once.